Good afternoon, Lorenzo Castagna School community. I'm sending you my warmest regards from Athens, Greece. It's an honor for me to be with you today, even not live since it's quite late here in Athens. But I wish to thank Alexandra and Zeitgeist for this chance to meet you virtually and get to share with you all the latest updates on media and information literacy and the new infodemic spread all over the globe due to COVID-19. So I'm a media literacy analyst and researcher working in the field for over 15 years now. I was head of media literacy department of the Hellenic Audiovisual Institute that was shut down in 2011. Have also worked for the public service broadcaster ERT-SA, and currently I'm working for ECOME-SA, the National Center for Audiovisual Media and Communication in Greece. Since 2019, I'm beyond honored to have been elected co-secretary General of UNESCO-led GAPMIL International Steering Committee, continuing a long-term partnership with UNESCO, during which I edited the Greek UNESCO Media and Information Literacy curriculum for teachers, policy papers and workshops. I'm also a member of the Media Literacy Expert Group of the European Commission since 2006. Don't count the years, it's quite many years, with long experience on media literacy public policy. My focus has always been how to translate evidence-based research into practice through public service platforms for a lifelong learning media and information literacy competence and a critical and autonomous citizen of the 21st century. I like to advocate, but most of all, I like to build relationships and networks that will reinforce public discourse on media and information literacy with proven results. And UNESCO GAPMIL is certainly at the cornerstone of the global action. So ECOME-SA is the National Center of Audiovisual Media and Communication in Athens, Greece. It has three pillars of action: audiovisual investment, digitization of audiovisual works and archives, and media and information literacy through educating parents, citizens at large, and stakeholders. ECOME is a new innovative public service organization supervised by the Ministry of Digital Governments, and the main aim, the main challenge is to help the development of a national media and information literacy policy infrastructure. So disinformation and what is happening in Greece, how Greece is facing disinformation. As in the majority of all the countries abroad, most cases are being spotted online, mainly through social media. According to surveys, 6 out of 10 users, they tend to share a news story just by reading the title of it and not the full article. We have private and public initiatives all together addressed to parents, educators, teachers, students, youth at large, and the initiators are journalistic unions, journalistic websites, NGOs, citizen journalism projects, and also the universities. They conduct news literacy workshops in the schools. Most of them are being partly funded or fully funded by the European Commission in the context of Media Literacy Creative Europe. Media education in schools is not a formal education subject in the Greek school. It is approached mainly cross-thematically through project and thematic weeks. It has gained ground lately with many topics on news literacy that are largely mentioned in the school books. The top resource on disinformation and the media is saferinternetforkids.gr, which has a range of topics on each social media platform addressed to primary and secondary education, school teachers and the kids. And I'm sure that most of us have heard about this Stanford research last year, where 80% of the students were not able to distinguish between a real news story and a fake one, or a news article and an advert, which has to do with advertising literacy capacities. So these are all elements of media and information literacy. And what's most interesting is that the main criteria for content evaluation by youth is the size of the picture in a news article and not the actual source. Large media literacy in the lifelong learning context is quite more popular as it is often associated with digital skills. So it is often linked with screen literacy and films, with many children film festivals to hold educational initiatives that aim at a more experienced and screen-wise viewer. The main premise behind is that by educating the viewer from a very young age, children are better educated to read behind the screen and understand better the image and the context behind, how film production and marketing techniques work, and all the hidden messages through a very popular medium that is the film. There are also many interesting projects that have to do with radio, such as the European School Radio, where children are making their own radio programs online and podcasts. However, there are not many initiatives specially targeted to parents for a more practical approach. Of course, we have the EU Safer Internet Day, celebrated every February all over Europe, and UNESCO GAPMIL Media and Information Literacy Week, celebrated every October all over the world to raise awareness on MIL active citizenship through developing a critical attitude and practice. And since last year, in Europe, we celebrate the EU Media Literacy Week every last week of March, with the main focus being on disinformation and the media. So sadly, this year it has been postponed due to the pandemic, with the thought, if all goes well, to take place in autumn. Overall, there is a lot of research and regulation on an EU context on media literacy and media education for school, for users, and for the industry players during the past decade. One resource that is certainly worth looking at is produced by Evans Foundation, and it is called Inspiring Ways to Involve Parents. It is fully available from the website, with projects from all over EU specially targeted to parents. As Co-Secretary General of GAPMIL International Secretary Committee, I'm beyond honored to be member of this unique global community operating under UNESCO umbrella with one purpose: to raise MIL in the public eye so that we can all benefit from the digital age and practice our own voice, echoing strong and sustainable democratic societies. Through ECOME, I'm also in charge of GAPMIL Mediterranean Group, which is a new group operating for the Mediterranean region, a regional network launched in 2018 under the EU subchapter that aims at reinforcing public discourse on MIL among the main players and key stakeholders in the southern of Europe. So far, we have over 30 members, all working for a common approach and policies that can be beneficial for all citizens. Looking back in the past, media education in the European Union dates way back in the late 70s, where the protectionist approach was launched against traditional media. The main worry then was TV and how much screen time is too much. This led to the adoption of more creative educational programs for the public service broadcasters in the 80s. And then in the late 90s, it was the new medium, the internet, and all the risks that it carried in the so-called cyberspace. And from the entrance of the new century and the new digital era, all worries moved to new media platforms such as social media and video on demand platforms like YouTube. This at first hesitant approach against something new, a new medium, is quite common, as it marks the intuitive defense against the new, the known. At first, we are suspicious. Then we go through a trial and error era until the new medium is fully regulated by the state and approached in its whole range. I'm also pleased to announce that this year we have been funded by the funding scheme Media Literacy for All by Creative Europe, a project called EduMedia Test with a European consortium, with the aim to develop an interactive assessment methodology tool addressed for all schools who practice media education. And I will be very happy to share with you once it's over. And also the Council of Europe works with media education, linking it with media pluralism and freedom of expression. In Greece, we have also launched this new platform, www.digitalsolidarity.gr, by the Ministry of Digital Governance, that offers services and resources on e-learning, entertainment, education for free or reduced price. ECOME also helps to clear this information fog on the pandemic through offering digital services, resources, and news all the time from the media and the creative industry that are offered as open educational resources. Because now it is our chance, the chance to use digital resources in the service of the mankind against this invisible other, this enemy that has suddenly ordered our planet to close. In addition, UNESCO Gap in Media and Information Literacy is perfectly aligned with this e-learning trend that is offered as homeschooling alternative. Our response is quick and to the point. With the main slogan, "Learning never stops," also UNESCO has launched the Global Education Coalition, the global education response to COVID-19, that seeks to facilitate inclusive learning opportunities for children and youth during this period of sudden education disruption. Because COVID-19 outbreak is also a major education crisis as well. On the same page, UNESCO launched the handbook on facilitating flexible learning during educational disruption, which is free to download from their website. And in addition, WHO launched online training modules for COVID-19 for every journalist and citizen out there who wish to better understand this crisis situation. It is an e-learning platform available from their website, openwho.org. I would like to finish with some useful tips. Do not trust everything that you see and hear on the media. Always question and think critically, realizing that all news are being constructed and they pose a certain point of view. Do not listen to conspiracy theories about COVID-19, for example, like the 5G network, and look for positive news as well. Misinformation can be really dangerous too. Do not go for homemade medicines and recipes against the virus, such as garlic immunization, or drinking chloroquine, like the sad incident in the States with the couple that they drank chloroquine and one of them sadly passed away. Also, with kids at home, we have enormous opportunities to explore and rethink our digital habits now. I would like to finish though with 7 tips for digital good parenting from Family Online Safety Institute. Number 1, talk with your kids. Number 2, educate yourself and try out new apps and games that they are also playing. Number 3, use parental controls, set some ground time limits and monitor your kids' use. Number 4, set ground rules and enforce consequences if your children do not follow these rules. Number 5, friend and follow your child, but don't stalk them. Number 6, explore, share, and celebrate with your kid all their new digital world online. And number 7, be a good digital role model. Know when and where to stop. Show your kids how to collaborate and be kind online. I would like to say that during these hard times that we are all going through, there is no such thing as perfect parenting. There is only good enough, which is perfectly fine. I would like to thank you for your attention. Please stay home, stay safe, and I would love to hear your feedback at my email, Anδriοπούλου@ecome.media. Thank you very much. Bye.